What's going on, peeps? Ray Cabana here, and oh my god, it's been such a long time since I've done a video here in the podcast dojo, but to be honest with you, I've been working in other projects. I have recently launched a new channel called Nerdy Cabana. Nerdy Cabana is a community where Nintendo fans gather together in order to nerd out, whether it's on a weekly video that I make or the live podcast that I also make on a weekly basis. I am going to put the link in the description below, and if by any chance you are into that type of content, please pay me a visit and smash that subscribe button. We would love to have you over there. I will say the same thing about the podcast dojo. If you like what you're seeing, please hit the like button, subscribe if you like our content, and click that bell button in order for you to get notifications every single time that we upload videos. For those of you who have been subscribed to the Podcast Dojo for a while now, you probably noticed that about a year ago I released a video on Pablo Escobar's right-hand hitman, Popeye. In that video I addressed that Popeye was freed from Colombian prisons in 2014. I asked the viewer if it was morally right for him to live off of the atrocious stories that he made in the past, and I even asked if Popeye deserved another chance in society. Well, it seems like time may have answered that last question for us, as Popeye was taken to Colombian prisons once more. But what exactly happened? Well, we will discuss that later in this video, but for now I would like to focus on how life was for Popeye outside of prison. When it was announced that Popeye was going to be freed from Colombian prisons, Colombians feared this decision. After all, the right hand of Pablo Escobar was being freed from prison. Popeye, however, gained a lot of charisma because a lot of the things he did after he came out of jail. He revealed all the Medellin cartel's secrets, including Pablo Escobar's. He also visited a lot of his victims and apologized to them. And in every single interview that Popeye got, he was always claiming that he was a new man and that he had repented from everything he did. But how can Colombians believe somebody that has scarred their country as much as Popeye has? Well, the truth is that nobody can really judge him for a liar. For all we knew, he could have been saying the truth all the time. And I feel that that's why he gained a lot of respect from a lot of people. He presented himself as a new man. He exposed all information from the Medellin cartel and Pablo Escobar. He apologized to his older victims. He even went to places like school to talk to the young so they understand why it's so important to study and why it's so important for them to not become somebody like him. He did a lot of things that regular criminals would never do. Popeye became a huge personality. He created a YouTube channel and got thousands and thousands of subscribers. He also did a movie. They based a series off of him. He did a lot of things while he was out of jail. But according to him, his freedom was not easy, as police officers always kept track of him and he often felt harassed, which in his opinion should have not happened because he stayed all the required years in jail that he had to stay. That's when we start seeing a different reaction from Popeye in the media. In the previous video that I made on Popeye, I addressed that he was still selling himself as a Pablo Escobar hitman. It was very hard to judge whether or not he was saying the truth, because I will say this, Popeye is a very smart individual. For all we know, he could have been using it as a form of marketing, but that possibility kept getting less and less likely as we started seeing his behavior in media. We've seen him say things such as, "The Colombian government is making me do illegal things. If I were to meet Pablo Escobar again, I would join him and not make as many mistakes as I did in the past." Or even being recorded while shooting a gun in the streets of Medellin, Colombia. All the things that I mentioned pretty much contradict what Popeye was trying to convey when he was released from prison in 2014. And I know you're probably asking yourself, but didn't Popeye stated that police was harassing him when he already paid his dues? Well, yeah, and I don't agree that that's necessarily right, but at the same time, going to a show and pretty much saying that you would make a video showing everybody how to hack phones in order for police not to track you if you committed any sort of crime is not a good thing to do either. You may ask yourself, Ray, but the devotion that Popeye has for Pablo Escobar may be just for pure marketing. But does that seem likely, especially when he was shooting a gun in the streets of Medellin? What I'm trying to imply here is that if Popeye was using his devotion to Pablo Escobar as a marketing tool, then I feel that he really was not doing the best job, as he kept getting in trouble and more trouble with the authorities. You want to market yourself as a hitman? Market yourself as a hitman. But don't go out and start shooting guns in the streets. That would be over-marketing yourself. And over-marketing yourself or even a product can actually not be the best idea in some cases. And Popeye certainly was earning the respect of a lot of Colombians, but respect just doesn't really turn into trust. On May 25th of this year, Popeye was once more taken to Colombian prisons, and this time for severe cases of extortion. According to multiple sources, Popeye had another hitman who protected him. His name is Tom. And according to those same sources, Popeye and Tom were planning to go and extort former Medellin cartel members on some of Pablo Escobar's properties and assets. It is said that there is a high possibility that after being taken to Colombian prisons and even sentenced to be in US prisons, Tom could have helped with the investigation of the case of Popeye. He probably provided authorities with the information about his plan and Popeye's, but there's no certainty on that. But what does Popeye think about this whole situation? In a recent interview, he expressed that the reason why he is in jail is because God sent him to be there, as some people wanted him dead and were even looking for him to kill him. But this could be another manipulation tactic as well. After all, he was and will always be known as Pablo Escobar's right-hand hitman.